What's going on, guys? It is Murderink here, back with another Raid Shadow Legends video, and today we have a really special one for you. For the first time in I'm not really sure how long, I'm actually going to cover a rare. Now, I don't normally do this, however, this is probably the first rare that I found that has irreplaceable endgame use as of right now. We are talking about Kurzad Deep Heart. Just let my brain process the fact that I'm talking to you about a rare. You guys know what I'm about on this channel. While I am an endgame player, I like to give kind of like high intellect guides to people that can guide them whether they're free to play, early game, mid game, or end game. But I want to make sure that any content I do release, it's going to last you throughout your duration of actually playing this game. And this is the first rare champion that I can say, once again, is probably irreplaceable all the way through the endgame, and a lot of people might have missed what makes this champion such an amazing addition to almost every single roster. So obviously, as we can see here, Dwarves Rare Attack Champion. Dwarves have been very lacking. I'm really glad with our first Dwarf Epic that was actually added to this fusion. That's going to be a great pickup for anyone who's electing not to go for Pixneal in this fusion. Now let's talk about Kurzad really quick here. We have an A1 here that has a decreased speed, places an extra hit if this is critical, nothing too special there. Now we have Flailing Pick on the A2, attacks all enemies. Each hit fills this champion's turn meter by 7.5%. Nothing too crazy. Yes, if you're hitting 4 champions, 5 champions in dungeons, this definitely does add up. Now, let's talk about the premier skill of the evening. We are talking about Deep Ambush. We have a 3-turn cooldown here, 50% increase accuracy buff on all allies for 2 turns. Then attacks all allies, has a 75% chance up to a 75, 80, 95, 100% chance of placing a weak version of Defense Down. So on all enemies, once again, for 2 turns. Now maybe you still don't understand. I'm going to explain it as best as I possibly can for you guys. This is a amazing game-breaking skill, okay? I'm not sure who else has increased accuracy, but for Arena, this is going to change so many things. Now, Arena is not very competitive right now because of the current bug we have with the bots being the newer players or people being misplaced in that matchmaking system. But once that goes back to normal, and in Platinum Arena right now, this champion is going to be absolutely incredible. Now, let's go over a few things before I get too in-depth on this champion. So most people understand how accuracy works. Now, every once in a while, I'm sure you guys have been in the arena, you've seen someone with a resistance aura, and I'm going to show you obviously very, very extreme examples of this, but it's fun. I like to show off some of the stats that I can put together in my champions, so it's going to be a good showcase. So back to my point. Some people see these teams with resistance auras, they have a ton of resistance and you're having such a hard time to debuff these champions, which in result leads to you losing that match. This is very common in Platinum Arena. You often see this on reset when people are being competitive, trying to push into Platinum or get a very high rank. So, first thing we're going to look at is our friend Lydia the Death Siren. She has an aura that increases ally resistance in arena battles by 100. Okay, so any champion I have, I can add straight up 100 resistance to them, assuming I have Lydia the Death Siren as lead, which I probably would in any type of resistance team. Now, who am I going to pair this with? Do I have a surprise for you? Skull Lord Varghal. He is extremely annoying, and I am going to show you exactly why. As we can see on the bottom right hand corner of your screen, I have debuff resistance 808. Think about that for a second. And the gear honestly isn't even that crazy. It's not properly glyphed. I have 3 rare pieces, so on and so forth, but besides the point, 808 resistance on this. Now, let's keep in mind Lydia. 908 total resistance on this Skull Lord Varghal. So you are going to need a very, very high accuracy champion if you want to even look at my Skull Lord, just even take a look at this guy. So now let's go and head over to someone like Shamrock. Shamrock is a very common champion, as well as someone like Shatterbones, who increases accuracy in all battles. Shamrock, for example, increases it by 70. So I unfortunately don't have the best accuracy glyphs at the moment, so this isn't as impressive. However, Madame Ceres, 746 accuracy, plus that 70 on the aura, she's going to have a very hard time debuffing my Skull Lord Vargal, if that were even possible. These are just two examples. One thing that's important for a debuffer, not so much against resistance teams, because usually they're not as fast, but you do have to keep in mind speed, and if you want to multi-use a champion, you definitely want them faster than 213 speed. As I mentioned before, I don't really have speed glyphs on this, and I have very few accuracy glyphs, so there's lots of room for improvement. Now, if you don't know this already, you only really need 3 champions in the arena. 1 being your turn meter booster, 2 being your debuffer, which would be Madame Ceres, and then 3 your AoE nuke champion, your single target nuke champion with an extra turn. However you choose to go about this, you only really need 3. Now, what do we have next? We have the flex spot. So, getting back to our video here, let's go ahead and take a look at our buddy Herzad Deepheart. What he's doing is, he is significantly reducing the accuracy check, and he might single-handedly kill the resistance meta in the arena overall. Now, hopefully I'm not disrupting too many people's teams who have heavy set focused on resistance, but 50% increased accuracy to someone with a Madame Ceres like mine that has well over 700 is going to blow the Skull Lord out of the water, overkill to the max. What does this mean? This means I can actually lower the amount of accuracy that I need to put on this champion, and I can focus more on the really important stats, being that health, defense, and speed. Very important stats to have on someone like this, just in case the enemy has a champion like a Hegemon. You really don't want to get one shot, so you want to make sure they're decently tanky enough to survive any hit incoming towards you. So this guy's going to be a game changer. Now, as if that wasn't enough for this, once again, rare champion, what he also does is he applies a weak defense down. So Plarium has this thing where they can release legendaries that aren't that impressive, epics who are like kind of good, then they're gonna do this to a rare. I honestly don't understand the method to the madness, but I cannot complain. This is a really easy investment for me personally, since I have almost 2,000 rare books at the moment. However, if you don't understand why this is so important, this guy can actually take the spot of any debuffer you have. And now you're probably thinking to yourself, Murder, can you not see the screen? It says 30% decreased defense. Now listen to this. If you actually do the math on some of your nuking champions and actually calculate the overkill, it doesn't matter that it's 30% because you will still kill your target no matter what. As long as you have a defense down, whether it's weak or strong, that will still actually be enough damage to kill any enemy team in one shot, especially if you have someone like a Trunda, someone like a Krutroxa, Rhodos. I can go on and on with listing a bunch of AoE nukers who are very strong right now. So the fact that this champion has the increased accuracy and the weak defense down on the same skill is actually insane, because you're taking the slot of a Madame Ceres with a rare, and you have to understand that, look closely to how they worded this. At least a 50% increase accuracy buff on all allies for 2 turns, then attacks all enemies. So he's increasing the accuracy, then he's attacking. So it's going to be on everyone first, then he's going to use his own accuracy to decrease the defense here. And the only thing we really have to do is, and I'm going to do this live for you guys right now, let's go ahead and gear this champion. We're going to be looking for as much accuracy as possible. You know what, 28 is probably going to be good enough for now. We want to make him a little bit tanky, and let's just find I guess we can start here. Speed, we'll go for accuracy chest if we can find it. Now if I was smart, I would just use our awesome artifact search tool. looking for any speed subsets we have. Obviously I'm in the way, so you guys can't really see. Maybe I'll move myself at a later date. Until then, now we're just going to simply search for speed, accuracy. This is kind of the process I go through when I actually do gear champions. Not 100%, so don't look at this as like a how Murder Inc. actually gears his champions. And unfortunately, this is looking like damage gear, not too impressive. So we are running out of options, so we have to hit this awful button called equipped, and we are going to see what we can find here. Let's take this right here, decent amount of stats on both, and finally we'll look for a weapon. For some reason this is on Ghostborn, that doesn't need accuracy, and here we have it. And unfortunately, I didn't plan this out properly. This is actually way too slow to be any type of comp that I'm looking to run. Maybe I can play around with a few things, but looking at his stats really quick, 400 is kind of high for accuracy. 204 speed is low, so you know what? Instead of messing around, let's just go ahead and actually do this properly so I can showcase this properly to you guys. Now we're going to look for literally any type of gloves that I can find with speed on them, preferably something that I have available to me now. 16, suboptimal. Let's look at Thalia, Valkyrie. Okay, here we go. This is definitely enough speed. Accuracy is still the same, so now we're sitting pretty here. 232 speed, which is ideal. 407 accuracy, no masteries, and honestly, for a champion like this, you can actually get away with outrunning any masteries on it. So if you really just want the straightforward benefit of what Kurzad Deepheart can do, just run him for the increased accuracy. And I know I'm talking about arena now, I'm going to show you arena, but if you're early game or mid game, and this is one thing that I kind of knew about going forward, and obviously I wasn't able to kind of talk about it, but months and months ago when I made my Great Hall guide and I didn't recommend going accuracy first, people went crazy saying, what do you mean accuracy is so hard to get? It's much easier to get later on in the game, and not even as much later on in the game, kind of like in the mid game where you kind of overcompensate with accuracy and you're like, why did I 10 out of 10 my accuracy Great Hall? What a complete waste that was, which is why I directed and elected to inform people that accuracy, once you get it to 6, or even if you start off with 10 out of 10 accuracy in your Great Hall, you probably shouldn't do anymore. It's because I knew buffs like this were coming to the game and they were going to be a lot more frequent down the line, so I would expect to see more 50% increased accuracy buffs on a lot of other champions coming to us soon. So what does this do if you're early game? This lowers the accuracy check for every single dungeon you're thinking about running. So now you can swap this champion in, you don't have to worry about accuracy and a cold heart. You can keep focusing on that damage, you'll still get that decreased turn meter from Heartseeker. You can focus on any debuff you have for a dragon, so on and so forth. So this guy is, I can't emphasize this enough, he's really going to be extremely strong. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go into the arena just to see what the AI does first. And a lot of champions unfortunately do have pretty bad AIs, and I haven't personally tested this guy yet, so I'm going to do that live for you now to see if this is going to be kind of like a Madame Saris where you have to quickly toggle on the auto button on or off depending on how you left it last, and see what ability you actually have to use here. I guess we'll keep Annie in, we'll keep Valkyrie here, and let's find rank. We are now looking for a legendary for the first time in forever, so I'm not really sure what to do here. Here we go. Dwarf, rare, gets me every time. So now let's see what we can do here. I probably should have used an AoE champion, and yeah, definitely probably should have used an AoE champion. So let's counterattack here. Oh, we said we were going to hit auto, so this is what we're hoping for. This is what we are not hoping for, so let's see what happens. Arium, proud of you. Proud of you. Doing God's work. You really are. You're doing God's work. So just to make sure what I saw actually is correct, like he's getting a little bit cheeky, putting out some solid damage as well. But just to make sure I am in fact correct, we are going to run this again. I'm probably going to take out Annie. Annie's an awesome champion. I know I haven't covered her yet people may be looking at her, she does a ton of damage, she might even be missing some gear, and she's still slapping these guys absolutely silly. So we do see that decreased speed there, even though it was removed. But we are going to try this again to make sure that, keep in mind that Kurzad is fully ascended, so there's no like synergy with the ascension there. But if this stays true, as I anticipated, now that he is auto-friendly, this is looking to be an absolutely insane champion. Now what we're going to do is, we found a bunch of rares, so how fitting to pair our rares with what this opponent has here. You know what, let's get it even better. Let's go against a full rare team, and we will use, I'll throw in a champion that we're gonna show off, not quite yet, but very close in the future. So this is another epic that's part of this fusion, and I'm excited to do a spotlight on him, but our eyes are on Kurzad right now. So okay, once again, he actually did enough damage to this team. Obviously they're not geared, but we saw it there, and just in case we missed it, I should have put it on 1x speed. Let's go against this 1 legendary, 3 rare team here. Okay, 1x speed auto. Let's make sure Kurzad is using the proper skill once again. If he is okay, so even if defense down is on, he's going to prioritize that increased accuracy on the team. So that's kind of what I was looking for, and I was not disappointed. So this guy is going to be a massive asset to you if you elect not to go for Pixneal as the fusion. Also keep in mind and look at, this is something I should actually go over in the video. Since we're already here, let's look at this fusion here. Let's go ahead and where would I have to be sacrificing him? Okay, this is where it gets tricky. Now you're going to have to decide. Now this guy is in the champion shard pool, so that is the good news. However, Ragnar Gold Gleam, I went over him. I have a video of him already. Absolutely amazing champion. However, champion you need to sacrifice to get him, and this is Plarium being rather cheeky, I must admit, is Kurzad, another incredible legendary. I would have loved to see him in a different spot, but this is just the hand we were dealt. So you're going to have to decide as the player what's more important to you. Ragnar is very good for early game. This guy is very good for early game, and I don't know, this is really hard. I can't make any decisions for you. I already have the Ragnar guide out. Go ahead and watch that if you haven't already. Here is the Kurzad guide on my thoughts, my opinions on how incredible this champion is. You're going to have to take a look at your account, see where the benefit's going to be for you, and from there you can actually determine what's going to happen with this rare or this epic, and how you're going to actually see greater progression for your account. So what I want you to do is, first of all, congratulations for watching. This is my first kind of premiere rare video, so thank you all for being a part of this experience with me, and give me your feedback on this champion. Did you overlook his skills at first? Did you not realize how good it was going to be? Do you think this actually isn't that big of a deal? I'm curious to hear what you guys think about this, so definitely leave a comment below, and I'm going to read through them, answer as many as I can, and kind of interact with you guys, because community feedback is extremely important. Don't forget guys, if you enjoy this content, smash that like button, turn on the notification bell, and subscribe if you like what you see here today, and I will see all of you in the next upload.